Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Kareem Supreme. I want to talk about the 35th anniversary of Stand By Me. You know, Stand By Me just turned 35. It came out August 22nd, 1986. Man, that was a long time ago. But you know what? It don't seem like it was that long ago to me. It seemed like it was just yesterday. I remember August of 1986, believe it or not. But I didn't see this movie when it came out. I saw it maybe like a year later when it came to cable, when it came to HBO. You know, we were living in the projects, and funny thing about it was the things that the boys were doing, we was doing. You know, we had a secret clubhouse, you know, and we used to be in there playing cards, having fun, you know, smoking cigarettes. No, we wasn't smoking cigarettes then. Years later, when we got like 12 or 13, we was doing stuff like that. But, you know, when I was 7, 8 years old, you know, we used to be in the secret clubs. It wasn't a clubhouse. It was like a hide spot in between some bushes. You know, we used to be back there playing cards, looking at nasty books, you know, all types of stuff. And we used to go on long bike rides, or we used to take long walks. And just like in the movie Stand By Me, we used to play dare games. We had a trestle bridge right here in Rochester, New York. It was some train tracks that went across the Genesee River. And back then they were active train tracks. And it was scary as hell. To this day, all my life I've been scared of heights, but when I used to hang out with my friends, we used to do stuff like that. I used to have to overcome my fears, you know, because I didn't want to be looked at as a chump or a sissy. So I used to try to be the first one to walk across those train tracks, you know, despite the Genesee River being maybe like 300 feet below. You know what I mean? You know, it was scary. And yeah, anyway, just like the movie, we was doing some of the same things. We used to carry around weapons and stuff like that, just in case if anybody bothered us. You know, luckily nobody ever bothered us. You know, the thing I liked about this movie was it was Stephen King's first movie that wasn't scary. It was his first. It was a book, I think, and I don't know if it was about his childhood or someone else's childhood, but it was his first movie that wasn't, you know, that wasn't a horror book or a horror film, and it turned out to be one of his best movies. You know, kind of like when Steven Spielberg did The Color Purple. That wasn't up his alley. You know, that wasn't likely for him. You know, it was like out of his league, but it turned out to be one of his best movies. You know, so when Stephen King came out with Stand By Me, we was like, damn, is this going to be scary or what? It wasn't scary. You know, Steven Spielberg came out with The Color Purple. Is this going to be adventurous or suspenseful? Nope. But, you know, it was unorthodox for both of them. And they ended up being some of their best work. So don't ever be afraid to try something different. Don't ever be afraid to try something that's unorthodox. Or don't be afraid to try something that's non-traditional. You know what I mean? It's okay to be liberal sometimes, depending on, you know, your line of work, you know. But anyway, back to the movie Stand By Me. It was a great piece of work. I think I'm going to go in and watch it now. You know, I just came back from McDonald's. The Sweetie meal? Okay. Is that their new slogan? The Sweetie meal. Sweetie. What's so sweetie about a fillet of fish? Anyway, yeah, the movie Stand By Me. It was a pretty good movie. It's one of my favorite childhood movies. Stand By Me, The Goonies, Beetlejuice, Howard the Duck. Some of my favorite childhood movies. This movie should be in everyone's movie collection. 35 years old. One of the actors, River Phoenix, I believe that was his name. The boy in the white T-shirt. I forgot his name. I think it's River Phoenix. I should have researched it before I did this video, but he died at a young age. It was sad. I want to say it was drug related. I could be wrong, but he didn't make it to his mid-20s, I don't think. Yeah, he was young when he died. He was probably in his early 20s, maybe late teens. It's been so long ago. You try not to dwell on people's death, but you can't help it. You try to move on and try to forget about it, but it doesn't work that way. Yeah, Stand By Me. It had a lot of good child actors in it that went on to be successful when they got older, except for River Phoenix. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Yeah, this movie was about this boy, his brother died, and they went on a hunt for this dead body, and they were saving money. They lost the money. They hid the money from themselves. They were saving money in a jar, and they hid the jar and ended up hiding it from themselves somehow. It was a good movie. It took place back in the 50s, back when people listened to doo-wop and rock and roll on the radio. It was the early stages of rock and roll. Doo-wop was in full effect. You know what I mean? Comic books was big. Listening to games on the radio, which I still do, was big. Another thing I liked about this movie was the soundtrack. The soundtrack had a lot of classic doo-wop songs on it. And the negative thing about this movie was that it had a lot of kids playing mailbox baseball. That's when you drive down the road and you take a baseball bat, you start knocking down people's mailboxes. We used to do it riding our bikes down the street. How many of y'all rode your bikes down the street while playing mailbox baseball? Come on now, you're in your 40s and 50s. Come on now, spit it out, tell the truth. There's no reason to lie. Some of you guys are in your 60s. Y'all remember playing mailbox baseball, riding a bike? By the time we started driving, we wasn't, by the time we was old enough to drive, we wasn't thinking about mailbox baseball. They were driving down the street doing it in the movie. That was more of a grade elementary school kid type of thing. You know what I mean? Once you got like 12, 13, at that age, we was playing ball, in the girls and stuff like that. We wasn't thinking about vandalizing someone's property. We was old enough to go to jail, go to juvie, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, check out Stand By Me. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.